Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon Lee. Today I am back with another episode of the Great British Bake Along Challenge, and this week's challenge was dessert week, and I believe the first recipe that they made was a cheesecake. And again, I'm modifying this challenge just because there's only two of us, and with COVID, can't really go out and give out all these desserts to my friends right now. So I originally bought this little springform pan to make my little cheesecake in today, but this is a little smaller than I wanted. So I might actually do it in my glass dish. I don't know yet. We're gonna see what I end up doing. But the recipe I am following, again, is from Domestic Gothess. Like I said, that woman has pretty much every recipe I can need for these challenges. And I am doing a vegan version of a cheesecake, although the recipe I'm following today is a no-bake cheesecake. I know that the challenge is supposed to be baked, but I am not going to bake it today just because I've tried it before in the past, and when I bake it, it just doesn't taste good, especially like with vegan substitutes, like using tofu and stuff. Usually it curdles, and we're not going to deal with that today. So I have already started prepping my crust for this cheesecake. I am going to be doing Oreos and dates as my base, and then I'm actually debating whether or not I'm going to do one cheesecake or if I'm going to do two, because I could make two of these because I do have at least one friend I could share a cheesecake with. The recipe I'm following is for a chocolate cherry cheesecake, so I might do that in the big one, and then I bought this peppermint extract, so I might try to make a mini peppermint one in here just to be extra festive because Christmas is coming up, and this is the first year ever that I'm actually excited for it. And as you can tell, I started with some of the Christmas decorating. So yeah, I am gonna get started with this video and let's see how this challenge goes, because we are finally in the semifinals. And I believe next week's episode is going to be the last one, which will be the last one for this challenge. So if you guys actually have any other challenges that you want me to try, please comment those down below. Maybe, you can also DM me on Instagram. I'll see about trying them. And yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so I have already gotten started on the crust. I've already started prepping everything. Since I filmed that intro, I decided I'm gonna do two cheesecakes, both no bake. We're gonna try this out. We're gonna try to make them vegan. We're gonna see what happens. So right now I have 6 ounces of dates, which have been, I bought them pitted, and then I also soaked them in some boiling water for about 10 minutes, and I just took them out, put them in here. This is the next batch. And then I have about 8 ounces of some Oreos, which I already crushed up in the food processor. So pretty much that's all that this recipe calls for. Instead of Oreos, you could use nuts, cashews, whatever you want, but I'm not gonna do that. I just wanna use Oreos just because I want chocolate, lots of chocolate and cherry. And I did also add in about 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder to this when I was blending it. So we're just gonna put this in our food processor, blend this up until the dates are broken up, and then we're gonna add in the Oreos until it kind of forms more like a dough, and then we're gonna put it in our dish and kind of spread it out. And then we're just gonna let that refrigerate until I am ready to make the filling and put that in. The filling will have to come later because I actually ordered something I ordered one part of it off of Amazon, and it's supposed to be here later today. So hopefully it actually shows up. If not, we're gonna make it and we're just gonna substitute it with something else because that's what we're working with. So let's move that so you can actually see what I'm doing. So that looks pretty mashed up. So I'm gonna add in the Oreo now. This looks about done, and I am just gonna take it off and add it to my dish. I did grease my dish a little bit just so it wouldn't stick too bad, but we shall see what happens. That is pretty even. This is my crust. This is what it looks like. Obviously, because I greased the pan a little bit, it's not like fully sticking, but I'm gonna go put this in the fridge and let this set now. And I am going to work on my smaller one. Once I'm done with this crust, like I said, we're just gonna throw them in the fridge. Hopefully Amazon will deliver my package in the next like hour or two. So then we'll get started on that. Okay, so it is later in the evening now. My crust thing has finally had enough time to set. It's definitely thickened up and it's not as like goopy and sticky as it was before. I probably could have added in some more Oreos to it to dry it out some more, but totally fine. So I started working on the filling. I didn't record it because my boyfriend was just down here making a drink, so didn't want him running around in the middle of it. But I will read out to you guys what I put in here. So I have about 10 ounces of frozen cherries, which I have thawed out. I actually cooked them a little bit in the microwave so that they were a little bit warm. The reason being is so when you're using the cocoa butter or you're using the coconut oil, it's not, if the cherries are frozen, it's going to solidify this right away, and we don't want that yet. We want it to solidify in the fridge. So yeah, obviously my cocoa butter isn't here yet. It's about 5 o'clock in the evening now, so yeah. Probably with the second one, I'll be able to use the cocoa butter, but I guess I'm gonna have to do this one with coconut oil. This is just coconut oil that I got from Kroger. I've used it in other recipes before where it stays a solid at room temperature, so this should be totally fine to use. So like I said, there's 10 ounces of frozen cherries that have been pitted and heated up. About 80 milliliters of lemon juice, I squeezed it myself, and 80 milliliters of agave nectar, or you can use maple syrup. I have agave, so that's what I used. You can also add in half a teaspoon of stevia leaf powder, or a little bit more if you want, you know, a little bit sweeter. But I didn't have that, so I used 4 tablespoons of coconut sugar, which is supposedly one of the replacements that you can do. I also added in about 2 teaspoons of some vanilla extract. Instead of the cacao butter, I'm probably going to add in about 50 grams of this coconut oil, but that I'm going to have to add that in later. You'll see. And also added in 200 milliliters of full-fat coconut milk, which I already did. And as you can see, my thing is very full. I don't have like a normal size blender, so we're just going to have to go with this and hope for the best. And then we're also going to use about 2.5 teaspoons of agar powder, which I have over here. This is the agar powder. It is very similar to using gelatin, but obviously, unlike gelatin, it is not derived from any animals. And I just get this from my local Asian market, so that's where you can get it if you're looking for it. So with the cashews that I put in here, I had those soaking for a couple hours, so they're a lot softer. I'm just gonna blend all of this up in my blender. I do have some more cashews back there that didn't fit into this, so I might have to transfer this to like another container and kind of like do this in batches, which you guys have seen me do before. It just happens. We don't have a bigger one. Normally, even when I'm doing other tart recipes or even like other cheesecake recipes, I never actually fill this up. So this is a first for me. We're gonna see how this goes, and I think it should be fine as long as I blend it up properly. Apparently I was supposed to take the coconut milk and use that for heating up the agar. Totally fine, totally fine. It's just, we're just creating a mess. Okay, so that is good. I am going to add some of, because I forgot to, I'm not doing this right, I'm gonna add some of this mixture to a saucepan. I'm gonna add in the agar really quick. So over here, I added in my cashews and started blending up more of those. So yeah, I'm gonna go over the stove top. I am going to heat up that mixture and add in the agar powder, and then we're gonna mix all of this together really fast and add it to that pan because the agar is going to set. And I'm also gonna do the coconut oil too, so I'm kind of following the directions, but I'm also kind of not. Now I am just taking the stovetop mixture and mixing it with that blended stuff you just saw a minute ago just to mix in the agar. And then because I've been rambling too much in this video, I'm just gonna pour everything into my dish. I'm gonna go put this in the fridge to set, and then I am going to try and follow the recipe better for the second batch that I am about to make with that smaller cheesecake pan. So I will check back in with you guys when I have finished that mixture. So after that disaster, I moved on to the peppermint cheesecake thing that I was going to make. I basically remade the batter the proper way, and I'm splitting it here, and I'm adding crushed candy canes to one of them. I also added in some cream of tartar to try to lighten it and make it a little bit whiter, but it didn't really work because of my cashews. I am just going to pour that into my springform pan. And then with the other half of my batter, I am going to use some red food coloring, and I'm going to dye that red. Hopefully the red food dye, I'm planning to try and make this look like a actual like peppermint candy, but I quickly realized that that wasn't going to work out. So I ended up just doing a layer of red cheesecake. And then the one part that you won't see me do on camera is once I added in my red layer, I did sprinkle some cocoa powder on top and then added some more crushed candy canes. I definitely want to point out that I did use way too much peppermint extract and definitely should have had some type of fruit or maybe even chocolate within the cheesecake to balance that out because it's very, very strong. As you can tell by my face, I was so over this at this. Hey everyone, and welcome back. It is the next morning. I let these set overnight. They did set sometime last night, and I probably could have finished up this video, but I want to wait till there's some better lighting for you guys. But it looks like both of them set. So the last time you guys saw me working with this one, I had just added in the like filling, the like cheesecake filling. So after that, I sprinkled it with some cocoa powder, and then I also put some crushed candy canes on top. And so this guy is pretty much ready to go. This one, also the dark like cherry one, looks like it's good. Everything's fully set, but I am gonna make like a little chocolate ganache right now. I have some coconut milk sitting on the stovetop. I'm gonna add the hot coconut milk to this. Actually, wait, it was supposed to be coconut milk. I ran out of coconut milk, so I'm using a little bit of oat milk. Just to warm that up, just to make a little bit of a ganache, and then I'm gonna drizzle that on top. Put this one back in the fridge to set, and then in the meantime, we're gonna work on this one and cut it open and see what it looks like. So, I'm just waiting on my coconut milk right now. I mean, oat milk. Wow, I really just can't get this right. I mean, it's a good consistency now. My main issue is some of the chocolate wasn't melting, so I finally got it. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I think I'm just gonna like drizzle it on top. I'm gonna go pop this back in the fridge to set the chocolate. Should I do a chocolate ganache on it too? Or should I just like open it and do it on one slice at a time? You know what? Let's open it. See what happens. Hope that everything came out okay. Got it. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Come on. Ooh, okay, that turned out okay. I mean, there's definitely some layers in that, which like isn't bad. So I definitely should have used parchment paper. Remember that for the future. Not bad on the layers, and then there's some candy cane on top. Not bad. Turned out pretty good. So I finally cut it and decided I needed to add some chocolate to it to make it taste better, so that's what I did. Like I said before, the chocolate was definitely needed. The peppermint was way too strong in this cheesecake. My little baby peppermint cheesecake. I bet this chocolate helps. The idea was there, but I definitely put way too much peppermint. yeah, I was very, very much done with these cheesecakes at this point. Just wanted to taste test them and be done with them because they were so annoying to make. But yeah, I am just going to taste it and let you guys know what I think. I like the Oreo crust that I did on this one. I definitely like the chocolate on top. Goes really well. The filling, it could just be my error, but I think that the filling's a little grainy. And that's probably from the cashews because I don't think I soaked them long enough. Whereas the peppermint one, I definitely soaked them overnight. So it's a little grainy. I could probably fix that. That's definitely my fault. It's definitely the right consistency, but I don't think it has like a cheesecake flavor. I definitely think it's missing some acidity. I probably needed more lemon juice in there, but it's still really sweet. It's just that grainy texture that I'm getting from my cashews that I didn't soak. It's just kind of throwing it off, but flavor-wise, it's great. Yeah, I like it. That is definitely one I can eat. That is definitely one I will eat because, you know, I made it, therefore I have to eat it. But yeah, so these are my two vegan no-bake cheesecakes, which again, I know the challenge is to do baking stuff because it's the Great British Bake Off, but this turned out better than my other ones. And as you guys have seen on this channel before, I know how to make cheesecake. I've made it plenty of times. I don't feel like making a real cheesecake and dying this week because cream cheese is not my friend. So yeah, I hope you guys really liked this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I am gonna link the Great British Bake Along Challenge videos up in the cards somewhere. You guys can go check out that playlist, watch all the other videos from this series. Right now, I believe we just finished, this episode was actually the quarterfinals, and next week will be the semifinals, and then after that we have the finals. So we're getting close. The show's almost over. I'm really interested to see like what we're gonna do next week, what we're gonna have to bake, what I can make vegan. And yeah, if you guys liked it, yeah, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, turn on that notification bell that lets you know every single time that I am posting videos. Every Monday I am posting these Great British Bake Along challenges, and once this is over, I don't really know what challenge I want to do next. So definitely comment down below. You can also DM me on Instagram at @SimplyShannonLee. Just let me know like what you guys want to see on this channel, what challenges you think I should try. Yeah, and that would be great. Maybe I'll try them. Maybe that'll be my new video every Monday. But yeah, you guys will see other videos on Fridays too, like normal, and sometimes I throw things in on Wednesdays or Saturdays. Just whenever I feel like it, you know? But Monday and Friday, those are my for sure definite days that I'm posting videos. I am going to go ahead and finish up this cheesecake. I'm gonna have my boyfriend try these too when he comes downstairs and see what he thinks. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!